Welcome to Spurs Focus, your go-to spot for daily Tottenham news, transfers, and match updates. Don't forget to support the channel by hitting that subscribe button now. Let's dive into today's top story. When Spurs were winning games, the Aussies' approach of "it's just who we are, mate" went down well with supporters. It wore thin when the likes of Ipswich and Leicester were leaving North London with 3 points. But Postecoglou's biggest weakness is arguably Frank's biggest strength. In the Super Cup defeat by Paris Saint-Germain earlier this month, Spurs came within 60 seconds of beating Luis Enrique's side. Frank opted for a 3-5-2 formation, utilising Richarlison and Kudus in attack with an extra centre-back to nullify the threat of false nine Ousmane Dembele and suffocating the space for wingers Desire Doué and Kvicha Kvaratskhelia. In Spurs' Premier League opener against Burnley when they were favourites to win and would be expected to have the majority of possession, Frank switched to a 4-3-3 formation and selected a midfield of Lucas Bergvall, Archie Gray and Pape Matar Sarr. Frank stuck with the same formation against Manchester City on Saturday, but brought Palhinha and Rodrigo Bentancur, two defensively minded midfielders, back into his starting lineup. The way the head coach has been able to adapt so early in his tenure, sometimes using a back four and sometimes a five, even bringing in Palhinha and Rodrigo Bentancur, that was a masterstroke, said Match of the Day pundit Micah Richards. Thomas Franks brought a know-how of how to see games out. Spurs are only the second side to win away to a Pep Guardiola-managed team in back-to-back seasons, and this one was far too easily achieved. City fans will have left the Etihad on Saturday with more questions than answers after a performance that was the complete antithesis of last weekend's win over Wolves. Creative, fluid patterns that led to goal-scoring opportunities were replaced by unimaginative, misplaced passes that resulted in very little positive. City underwhelmed for the majority, but you have to wonder how much of that underperformance was down to Spurs' organised and aggressive game plan. From the first time James Trafford was offered the ball in open play, it was evident that Thomas Frank had directed his players to rush the City box. Richarlison nearly nicked the ball off his toe in the 9th minute of the game. They swarmed in packs and never let City settle, eventually forcing the mistake for João Palhinha to score a well-timed second goal. City had no response. The visitors were content conceding possession, but hit City where it hurt, with more efforts at goal and a greater number of shots on target. Each of the two big chances they created ended in a goal. The two Manchester City generated ended in a miss. City were being confronted by a team who looked more confident and assured in their specific roles, like they had played this way for years. Like it came naturally. Cristian Romero did a number on Erling Haaland, Palhinha, who won more duels than any other player, and Rodrigo Bentancur were more assertive than Tijani Reikinders and Nico Gonzalez in midfield, Mohamed Kudus more direct in attack. I have a feeling the performance was a little bit better than the result, reflected Guardiola generously. His reading of the game will be incompatible with most others. Saturday's result was not only a statement victory for the Frank regime, but a triumph of managerial style. Having also won with Brentford in November 2022, Frank becomes only the third manager to beat Guardiola away from home with two different clubs. There's no coincidence in that. I definitely believe in the aggressive press, as you saw today, and as you saw with my Brentford team, Frank told reporters at the Etihad. I believe in being front-footed. I like that mentality. It's a more offensive way of defending. It's more fun to defend on the opponent's half. So yeah, let's go for it. Spurs may have started the campaign under the highly Spurs contradiction of having endured their worst domestic season for nearly 50 years, while simultaneously landing a first trophy since 2008. But Frank is out to change perceptions for good. We have been working so hard on our defensive principles. Mentality is the key thing. You need mentality to win games like this, he added. Tottenham have long been mocked for an absence of big game mindset. The term Spursy is rooted in that all too familiar shortcoming, evident just 3 weeks ago in Super Cup defeat to PSG after blowing a 2-0 lead. But they have passed the real acid test with flying colours in these opening 2 weeks, with Frank's fingerprint also all over the 3-0 downing of Burnley. Even failed pursuits to sign a no-10 losing out on Eberechi to Arsenal just this week have not derailed focus. Spurs' creative side has shone, scoring 5 times while registering 2 clean sheets. 6 points and a goal difference of +5 represents their best start to a league season. A small sample size, yes, but a big change in identity and fortitude. The question now will be, how long can it last? Transfer talk is heating up at Tottenham Hotspur as the summer window enters its final days. Norwegian striker Alexander Sorloth has been linked with a Premier League return after his prolific season at Atletico Madrid. But his father Goran has now poured cold water on the rumours, insisting most of the talk around Spurs and Newcastle is just wild speculation. Goran Sorloth, the father of reported Tottenham target Alexander Sorloth, has reacted to rumours linking the Atletico Madrid forward with a move back to the Premier League. The 29-year-old has attracted interest from Spurs and Newcastle United, with his Atletico future said to be uncertain this summer. The Norwegian, who scored 24 goals in 53 appearances for Diego Simeone's side last season, was last week reported to be unhappy after falling behind Giacomo Raspadori and Antoine Griezmann in the pecking order. Although Sorloth returned to the Ikai and scored during Atletico's 1-1 draw against Elche at Riyadh Air Metropolitano on Saturday, there is still talk that he could leave the La Liga club before the end of the transfer window. Indeed, Sorloth's dad Goran has since spoken about his son's future and admitted that he can deny the rumours that the former Villarreal and RB Leipzig man could be en route to English football once again. I can deny most of it. It's a transfer window, and that's how it is. All summer and throughout January. I can deny that. It's just wild rumours, he told Doug Bloodatt. There are definitely clubs that have their feelers out and want to strengthen their team. That's not surprising. Alexander Isak won't be a Newcastle player any longer, I see. There are several teams that have injuries and things like that, but Alexander is an Atletico Madrid player. Hopefully he'll start against Elche, then suddenly there's a little less chance. Then I think the rumour mill will quiet down a bit. Sorloth spent 2.5 years at Crystal Palace between 2018 and 2020, scoring once in 20 appearances, but has improved since that spell, finding some scintillating form in the last couple of years. After impressing on loan at Real Sociedad and then at Villarreal, Sorloth signed for Atletico in a £27.6 million deal last summer. Following a prolific season for Simeone's men, there is no surprise that interest has increased in him. While Tottenham are in the market for attacking reinforcements, Newcastle's need to strengthen their front line is all but greater, with Alexander Isak's future up in the air and Callum Wilson leaving at the end of his contract. When asked about whether Sorloth could move to Newcastle, Goran replied, "I certainly hope Alexander Sorloth is not satisfied with not getting more playing time. If he is satisfied, he will have to find something else to do." The season has just started. He had a slight hamstring injury before last weekend's game. Now he is fit. Richarlison has insisted he has always been focused on Tottenham, amid reports the striker could leave the club this summer. The 28-year-old only managed 24 appearances and 5 goals during an injury-disrupted 2024/25 campaign that was followed by renewed speculation about his future. Richarlison was mentioned as a possible makeweight in Spurs' attempt to sign Eberechi, but the forward has revealed he never had any intention of leaving North London. The Brazil international made that clear to Frank on his first day in the job, and the new manager's supportive response was music to his ears. "It was very important," Richarlison said of that chat. "Since I got here, every time the transfer window opens, my name is circled as one who could leave going back to Brazil or wherever. But I've always been focused on Tottenham, and I've never had a conversation about leaving. I'm in a good moment. I hope to continue working hard and getting the opportunity to give my best." Richarlison has hit the ground running under Frank, with an impressive performance in the UEFA Super Cup against Paris Saint-Germain, followed by a brace as Spurs beat Burnley 3-0 in their Premier League opener. The Brazil international provided the cross for Brennan Johnson's opener in Saturday's 2-0 victory at Manchester City, and the former Everton star once more. "I'm very happy to be back," Richarlison told Brazilian broadcasters. "After a long time, I was able to do a full pre-season. Since the PSG game, I've been playing with a rhythm that I've not had for a while, so I've been able to get into that. I've been able to play a good game, and this is the result of a pre-season that was very good for me. Now I want to be able to continue like this and play like this. There's been a lot of meetings under Frank, but I like that meetings every day. I'm improving the tactical part and I'm training well to improve. Hopefully that comes in handy for our defenders. When it was our second goal, we were able to steal the ball and the goal came out. As I said, I'm going to continue like this, working hard, and hopefully things will happen. The clock is ticking for Tottenham to try and find an Ebereki-Ease alternative in the transfer market. Tottenham had looked on course to sign the 27-year-old from Crystal Palace before Arsenal made a late play for the highly rated ace. Ease is now set to become a Gunners player in a deal worth £67.5 million. Losing out to their North London rivals is a major blow to Tottenham, and it follows on from the failure to conclude a deal for Morgan Gibbs-White despite activating the release clause in his Nottingham Forest contract. One player who has been linked with a move to Tottenham Hotspur Stadium recently is exciting Monaco talent Magnys Akliouche. So who exactly is the attacking midfielder? Born in Tremblay-en-France in February 2002, the youngster spent time with Villemomble and Torcy in his youth career before linking up with Monaco in 2017. Firstly getting experience in the club's B team, Akliouche graduated to the first team during the 2021/22 campaign and made his debut as a substitute during a 2-0 loss at Lyon. The attacking ace, who has mainly operated from the right wing in his career, would only play in a further 6 games that season, but he did make 2 appearances for Monaco in the Coupe de France, with one of those a start in a 2-0 win over Amiens as he registered an assist while playing from the left wing. His game time increased slightly the following campaign, but it was not until 2023-24 when he became a regular for the League One side. Akliouche registered 8 goals and 4 assists in his breakthrough season, mainly splitting his playing time on the right wing and as an attacking midfielder. The 23-year-old continued to have an impact for Monaco last season as he started 36 times on the right, duly contributing 7 goals and 12 assists. The player also picked up some vital Champions League experience as he started all 10 of Monaco's games in the competition, notably scoring in wins over Barcelona and Red Star Belgrade. Akliouche also has experience on the international stage after playing for France U21s and Thierry Henry's international team during the 2024 Olympics in Paris. The opportunity to work with the Premier League legend was certainly beneficial to the player. Both on and off the pitch, he gives me a lot of advice, he told TNT Sports. Thanks to his experience as a player and coach, his words are gold. You have to pay attention to them. When he says something to you, you pay attention because he never says just anything. He's also aware that young players need more attention and advice, so he helps us a lot. It's important to have that help. The player himself has come in for plenty of praise due to his performances for Monaco. It perhaps is no surprise given what he can produce on the football pitch. A technical player who can operate centrally or on the wing, Akliouche is a good dribbler of the ball with excellent passing ability. His eye for a pass can be seen from the 17 assists he has so far contributed for Monaco, with his tally of 17 goals also highlighting that he can regularly get his name on the score sheet. His ability to carry the ball forward and his touch are also big strengths, as is the hard work he puts in off the ball to help his team. Last November, Monaco boss Adi Hutter dished out the praise to the left-footed star and described him as an international level player. He has made a huge progression. For me, he is an international level player, he said as reported by Get French Football News. He can be happy that he is an example of our academy, the same as Elias Ben Seguir, who came from the group elite and is now with the pros. When I arrived last season, I saw he was a talent, but when you are up front or a number 10, you have to bring stats and set up or score goals. He brings us lots of stats. With 2 goals, he was for sure the key player tonight. Former Liverpool player Takumi Minamino, who is now a teammate of Akliouche at Monaco, noted him as the best young player in the team when he first arrived at the club, and he added that he has huge potential. A move away from Monaco does appear to be on the cards at some point in the future, given his rise over the past few seasons. Whether that is at Tottenham or somewhere else, will become clear in weeks and months ahead.